Matara Kan is a cockroach VTuber and recently debuted in Vshojo, and I thought it'd be a fun idea to create her as a D&D character. And we can see exactly how we can get all of her special abilities and powers. Let's figure out her race first. Firstly, we found the race Giant Roach in the monster compendium. It's going to be a bit different because the race doesn't exactly have a good way of converting it as a playable race, but we found some things in Saavage species book to help out with that. As a giant cockroach, she gains a fly speed of 60 feet per round, plus 4 dexterity, 2 natural armor, and even tremor sense, which will help her detect the vibrations in the ground. This will be a sure way to find enemies even in magical darkness. Matara also has the vermin traits, which offer dark vision 60 feet plus mindless, which in this case she has intelligence, but is immune to all charms, compulsions, or even with a mind-affecting tag. She also gains racial skill bonuses, plus 12 to climb, 10 to hide, and 9 to move silently as well. Next up, picking her class. We will bring her to 5th level in Druid, but instead of a normal Druid class, we will pick a variant class add-on. She will be known as a Root Walker. This will give her many abilities to help her survive underground in the darkness. She is an expert in bug-like creatures. Firstly, this class gives her Vermin Empathy, which is similar to Wild Empathy, but instead she can talk and befriend vermin creatures. Her next power, she gains the ability to move over stone. This allows her to never be hindered while traversing stone-like areas or moving through stone itself. Lastly, at 4th level, she gains a plus 4 against spells from aberrations. She is especially talented at resisting aberration oddities such as mind flayers or even beholders. So 5 levels isn't very much, but we'll instead use prestige classes to level her up more, taking 10 levels of Vermin Keeper. As a Vermin Keeper, she is talented at handling all sorts of bugs. From this class, she gains some abilities that are the same, but the major ones that we need are Form Tiny, all the way to Huge Vermin Form. This allows her to turn into buggies that are massive like spiders, ants, or even scorpions. Handle Vermin, which allows you to use the Handle Animal skill to befriend bugs. Instead of a bear, you can get giant ants or giant cockroaches, for example. She gets a companion, which would be like a cockroach, and finally a swarm form, which can be scary and automatically hit creatures. That would bring her to level 15. Next, we take 10 more levels in Vermin Lord, which has some special-like abilities. She gets an increase to her natural armor. This ability is called Chitin. Next is Vermin Servant. She can have a bug-like creature similar to a wizard's familiar, which can be pretty handy. Theoretically, she could use this familiar to cast spells through it and be as small as a minuscule ant. Her third major power is called Blood Drain. Each time she bites a creature with her mandibles, they take an extra 2d6 damage, sucking on the blood. A truly evil skill. On top of all this, her next ability is called Swarm Armor, where a swarm of roaches can cover her flesh and protect her. A bit itchy, but when you're already a bug, I'm sure it's totally normal. And finally, the apex power of this class, Hive Mind. This allows her to control vermin with mind control-like powers, becoming a deadly hive mind. All of these make her an extremely unique druid. Her main skills are Bluff, Diplomacy, Handle Animal, Hide, and Move Silently. She will be a master at being able to stay hidden. On top of her class, she could easily get 40 points in both hiding and silence. Her diplomacy and charisma are pretty high, so naturally she has the knowledge to give you some good mom advice. She will gain skill tricks which help her in social situations. Second Impression gives a special talent where she can attempt to convince someone of a different narrative, whether it be good or bad. We can also give her a skill trick called Social Recovery, which if a diplomacy check fails, she has another chance to turn it into her favor. With these, we can go on to her feats, and what she needs for that. The first feat is called Vermin Friend. She needs at least 15 charisma, but if a bug-like creature ever attacks her, she can attempt to persuade it to stop attacking temporarily. The next, I think, fits her lore of being an actor. These three she needs are persuasive, trustworthy, and alluring. They all give +2 to bluff, intimidation, +4 on diplomacy and gather information, and also being able to increase the effectiveness of mind-affecting spells or language-dependent spells as well. She will take Sweet Talker, which gave her the skill tricks. She could easily spend skill points instead, but I think this is appropriate. And finally, I think a being like Matara needs an ability of natural defense. This is called Damage Reduction 2. She will be able to withstand more hits from her enemies. But next up is her equipment. I chose a couple pieces of magical gear that I think she would have. Let's go through them. Her face slot could equip the Eyes of Charming. This magical device can charm people at will, unlimitedly. She can take the boots of Striding and Springing, increasing her land speed by +10. The Mesmer's gloves are a way to increase the effectiveness of her illusion or mind-like spells. The Ring of 9 Lives fits her perfectly. Well, I think. With this, she cannot die past -10 as per usual, and can revive up to 9 times when falling below 0, making her a roach you can never get rid of. The Scarab of Invulnerability is a must-have. She can use it for 1 turn to take no damage at all. The Druid Vestment is a must-have as well, allowing her to use Vermin Shape multiple times. And the weapon I think she would use most would be the Staff of Charming. It is able to use Charm Monster twice per day, which normally monsters cannot be charmed. Our final item is the most important out of all of her equipment, an Everfull mug. Maybe it could be a nice glass or something. But it will continuously refill the wine glass daily, a must-have for your favorite wine mom. This is all of her equipment. Next is her spells. I managed to find a couple useful spells that would fit her lore. One of them being Regenerate. It's a 5th level druid spell which can be pretty tough to get naturally using other classes. She will most definitely be able to choose Stone Skin and Iron Body as defense magic to reduce damage taken on top of her passive damage reduction. Hold Person is a powerful spell that allows her to incapacitate a creature for an entire fight. Matara also needs Dominate Person and Switch Minds, which will fill out her other powers. She will have the capabilities of taking over a creature's body. I believe this pretty much covers all of her lore-like powers. She will have 10 Strength, 14 Dexterity, 14 Con, 10 Intelligence, 14 Wisdom, and 15 Charisma. She can easily boost her Wisdom to 19 as she levels up, or get equipment or spells to make that even higher. Though, in my opinion, maxing out Wisdom isn't the most important part of her character. I believe the part that shines the most is from her transformation and ability to befriend creatures she needs. I've watched a bit of her so far, and she seems like the type to be a good aligned character, but D&D wise, if we're playing by all the rules strictly, she would need to be evil in order to take all these classes we mentioned earlier. Yes, deep down, this actress Matara is an evil roach who is difficult to kill, and will always come back no matter how many times you try to get rid of her. And that is how you too can make Matara Kan into a D&D character. I hope you enjoyed the video and liked how I made your favorite roach mom. If you guys want to see more Vtubers into D&D characters, make sure to like and subscribe to the channel. And we will see you guys in the next video. Oh, also, who do you guys want to see in the future? Comment below who your Oshi is, or maybe there are a couple.